So I wanted to talk to you today just a little bit about the ways that you can still stay connected. I know you're probably at this point figured out how to use our live stream and how to get on our email thread and get connected in those ways. But there's one other way that First Church members are connecting with each other, and that is through Zoom calls. And so different committees and different groups of people are getting together on Zoom and getting to talk with each other in real time. And see each other's faces. And so I know that that is really new to a lot of people. It was definitely new to me. I had never done a Zoom call before we all went into social distancing, so it's something I've had to learn as well. So if it's new to you, I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and show you how to do a Zoom call, how to get on one, and how to set it up both on your computer or your phone. Okay, here we go. Somebody, maybe a committee member, committee chair has sent you information in an email about joining a Zoom committee meeting. So here's the first thing that you'll need to do. Let's see. You will need to open up a browser, so the internet. This is just what mine looks like. Yours is going to look however yours looks normally. It'll say Google or whatever. And in the Google search bar, I'm just going to type in Zoom. And that is going to be enough to get me where I need to go. So Zoom. So this right here, Zoom, video conferencing, web conferencing, etc. This is what you want. So zoom.us. You first sign in, this is what you'll see. And you are going to hit sign up. It's free. Okay. And what that is going to want you to do is to create an account. And so that's going to need your email address and you're going to create a password. Okay. And that's it. Now, if you are never planning to host a meeting, that is literally all you need to do is just set up an account and then you never have to come back to this. Okay. Go to your email, however you receive email. I've got mine down here. And here is my email to myself, but yours will be from whoever. And it's going to look something like this. It'll have your name. Somebody has invited you to a Zoom meeting. There'll be the name of the meeting and what time, what date and time that it is taking place, and then a link. Okay, so this is really all you need. So once you've created your account, all you need to do is click this link and it's going to pull up your Zoom meeting. Okay, this information, you can use it. So this is your meeting ID, and a lot of Zoom meetings now are requiring passwords. You may have heard on the news or something that there's been some security issues with Zoom. That is true. So a lot of meetings, maybe all meetings now are requiring a password. So if you use the meeting ID, then you will be asked to use a password. I think if you just have this link, you can bypass needing the password. And you'll just go straight to the meeting. Okay. So this is what it would look like if you click a link to join a Zoom. It's going to say launching, and then it's going to give you this little box right here to join the Zoom meeting. So then all you need to do is click join. Okay, so it's prompting me to sign in. So you would just sign into your account using your email address and your password. And then it'll pull up your Zoom meeting. Okay, this is a little funky way to show you how to do this, but I wanted to be able, I couldn't figure out another way to show my screen and also show like these functions that pop up. But I wanted to be able to show you exactly what your screen is going to look like. So hopefully this looks okay. Sorry that you can see the top of my camera in the picture. Okay, so when you open up a Zoom call, it's going to look like this. I think it pops up a box first and it shows you what you look like. That's assuming that you have a computer with a camera. Not every laptop or computer has a camera. So yours might not have a camera. So as far as I know, you can still join a Zoom call and you can still see other people who have cameras. And you can use the audio if your computer has audio, but they just won't be able to see you. So if you're on like a desktop computer that is older and it doesn't have video or audio capabilities, then using your computer might not be the best option. If you've got a smartphone or a tablet of some kind, like an iPad, that is probably going to be a better option for you. And later I'll show you how to use that. But if you've got a laptop, and all laptops pretty much have audio capability, so you can definitely do audio. You may or may not be able to do video. Okay, so let's go through some of the functions that are in the call and what you'll see. So when you pull up your screen and you move your mouse around, like this little bar down here is going to pull up. And here are all the things, some of the things that you'll need. You won't need everything. So first, let's talk about video. So let's just say that you don't have a camera, and so you're doing this without video. Then there's going to be a little slash through that video. And for me, like when I created my account, I just picked a photo of myself to show. If I hadn't not have done that, it just would be a circle with, I think it's a circle with like an M for Megan. So whatever your name starts with, whatever name you put in, it'll just be a letter there. So we'll turn video back on. Okay, let's talk about audio. So right now I'm not muted, and so you can see, I don't know, you can see that little green thing when I'm talking. So that's a way you can test to see if your audio is working. So mine is. So if you're not the person talking, it's a good courtesy to go ahead and mute yourself, because there might be background noise in your house. A pet might be making noise, a family member, something might be going on, and it's distracting. So if you're not the person talking, just go ahead and mute yourself. So when you see this bar, you just would hover your mouse over that and click it. So now I'm muted because there's a slash through it. So to turn my mic back on, I would just hover back over it and click. And now I'm unmuted again, so people on the video call will be able to hear me. Say that everybody is muted, and like somebody's been talking and then somebody else wants to start talking. Like if I wanted to talk next, I would go ahead and unmute myself and get ready. So I kind of pay attention to that when I'm in calls of like who's unmuting themselves, because I'm going to assume like they're going to want to talk next. So just kind of be mindful of that, like who's muted, who's not. It's hard to talk this way. Like it's not hard, it's just different, and it gets some getting used to. So however we can help each other out, is good. So that's video and audio. However you're doing this bar will look similar, or there'll be a way to unmute yourself. Your host might have it set up that you're muted when you enter the room. So just go ahead and check that first off. And start your meeting unmuted, just so like everybody can say hello to each other, and then go ahead and mute yourself, and that way you know that you know how to use it. Okay, probably the only other thing that you might need in here is the chat function. So that's right here, the little speech bubble. So if I hit that, it's gonna pop out a box to the side of my video. Let's see if I can make that smaller to get it in. Okay, so over here. And this is where people can type things. So I tapped hey, and that went out to everybody. Why would you need this? Let's say you're in coffee hour, and let's say Jim Teicher is talking about some cookie recipe that he found on the internet that's great. And you're like, I wish I had that cookie recipe. He could copy and paste that link to the recipe into the chat function. And then you could pull it up on your computer, and you could also make really great cookies just like Jim. Okay, so that's the chat function. And you can send messages to everybody or just one person. That's right here. I don't know if you can still see that. Yeah, right here. Mine says everyone. And I'm the only person in this call, so there are no other options, but you would have options. If you don't like that or you don't want it on your screen, you just hit it again and it disappears. Okay, I think the only other thing we would need to talk about is how to exit the call. So if the call is over and the host can end the call for everybody. But let's say that you've been in the meeting and it's going on, but you have to leave and go do something else. Yours would say leave meeting, where mine says end. I'm the host, so it says end. So if I hit that, it would end for everybody. But you as a participant, it would just say leave, and then you can leave. Like, let's say worst case scenario, your meeting gets hacked, like you may have heard about on the news, and somebody that we don't know and we don't want in our meeting comes in there and starts showing things, some content that we don't want to see. Your host would be working to be getting that person out, but the best thing for you to do would just be to leave. So you could hit leave, and that way you're eliminating the audience for that person. If everybody leaves, then there's no one there to see that negative content. So just know that that's where you would do that if there was any reason why you would need to leave. Okay, I think that's about, there's some other stuff, but like, it's less important. So those are the important things. One last thing, there's a couple of different ways to view your screen. I can't really show you live because I'm the only person on this call, but if there were other people on here, that's full screen, but there would be something else here. It would be some options about how to view it. I think your options are either grid view or speaker. If it's on speaker, then whoever's talking is going to take up your whole screen, and you're not going to see other people. If it's grid view, then you'll see everybody on the screen. Personally, I like grid view better because I feel like I can read the room better. Like if you were sitting with each other, you'd be able to see everybody. You can make eye contact with whoever you wanted to, not just the person talking. And it also helps with, like, you can do visual cues, like you can raise your hand or whatever to like indicate that you want to talk next. So I encourage you to use grid view as opposed to speaker view, but it's really whatever your comfort level is. But I just wanted you to know that those are options. Okay, so I just showed you how to use Zoom on your computer, if that's the way you want to do it. But a lot of people these days are just using Zoom on their phone, or maybe you're a person who has an iPad, which is super cool, and there's an easy way to use Zoom on those devices. If you have an iPad, it's a great way to use Zoom because it already has a camera built into it, so you don't have to worry about, like, if your laptop has a camera, or trying to like set up a webcam or something like that. Okay, here is my phone. So to be able to use Zoom on your phone or your iPad, the first thing you need to do is to download the app. So I'm going to go to the App Store. I have an iPhone. I assume it's similar on an Android device, but I can't say that for sure because I don't have one to show you. But everybody has some version of an App Store. So this is how it looks. So I'm going to type in Zoom. All right. And this is it, the Zoom Cloud Meeting with this little icon right here of a video camera. So I'm just going to download that. Depending on how you download things, whether you do touchscreen or if you need to type in a password, it'll cue you to do whatever it is that you do. I had already downloaded this once, so it's already just ready to download it again. Okay, so we'll just wait for a second for it to download. Let's go find it. Okay, so there it is. We'll be ready in just a minute. Okay, so then you'll click it, and it'll pull up Zoom. Okay. Now, if I wanted to join a meeting, I would hit that. Now, in that email that we had on our computer, it showed a meeting ID and a password. And so you could just use your phone and use that meeting ID that we got in our email and type it in right there. Or if you want to go ahead and set up an account, you can do that as well. You can do both of those things here from your phone. Okay, so now I'm signed in, and it's asking me if it wants to send notifications. You can choose yes or no, whatever you prefer. I don't like to get a ton of notifications on my phone because I get them so many other ways. You can also access your calendar. if that's something that you want to do. Totally cool if you do, then your phone will send you notifications of when your meetings are, which is nice. To stay updated, I'm going to choose no. I don't use Siri. Okay. I don't want it to remember my password, so I'm going to hit not now. Sure, I'll do touch screen to be able to log in later so I don't have to remember my password. Okay, so then it's going to show you this screen. And for me, as a host, I had scheduled a meeting earlier to do this tutorial. And so if I was ready as the host to start that meeting, I would hit start. Let's see, if you were just pulling this up, that wouldn't be there. But you would have the option to join a meeting, and this is where you could punch in that meeting ID that we talked about from the email. Okay, so let's just say I want to start this meeting, so I can show you what it's going to look like. Yes, we'll use our camera, and yes, we want to use our microphone. Okay, and there I am. I'm showing you my screen doubly. So this is me. So it works just like on the computer. So we've got audio, we've got video. You can see the participants. If you hit more, you can go to the chat function like we talked about earlier when Jim Tusher is going to send you a cookie recipe. Yeah, and that's really all you need. Now, if there were more people on this call than just me and virtually you, you would use this swipe function. If I swiped and there were more people here, I would scroll through and see different people's faces and be able to see everybody. And depending on how many people are in the call, you might have to swipe a few times to be able to see everybody. One thing we didn't talk about earlier, because nobody else was on the call, but the person who's talking will have a green box around their face. And that's just an easy way to like visually find the person who's talking. All right. If I swipe right, I can tap to speak, although you can manage that here. So it's the same courtesy if you're on your phone about keeping yourself muted. So now I'm muted. Oh, now I'm muted. I'm sorry. Now I'm muted. And when you're ready to talk, you would just hit unmute. Okay. And same way, I would end the call just right up here. If I was ready to end, which, sure, I'll end. Okay, so end that meeting. Okay. So that's all you need to know about that. It's the same way, so once you've got the app on your phone, it's the same way if you wanted to access it. So here's my email. Oh gosh. So, well, I wasn't ready for that. But anyway, you could pull up that email and use that same link that we used on the computer if you don't want to try to use the meeting ID. Either way will work on your phone. Okay, so that should be all the information that you need to get started with joining a Zoom meeting and setting up an account. Please let me know if you need any help. I'm happy to help. Feel free to send me an email, mjones@fumcpdx.org, and we can talk through it if there were some things in this video that didn't make sense. So anyway, happy Zooming and connecting with your church family. Thanks so much. Bye.